I am live, my friends. Saturday night. What better thing to do than to come on the YouTube with Stash and cause trouble? So, May 2nd, we have survived. May Day, Spartacus Day, and now we're on May 2nd. Actually, I enjoyed bitching about the deep state last night, so that's what we're going to do tonight. It's not exactly much in the mainstream news, but now Christopher Steele, the incredibly brave intelligence operative, an author of the Steele dossier that, I don't know, Rachel Maddow loves. That I think deserves some bitching on. I never ceases to astound me how the cognoscenti, the elite, the electus, the illuminatists, the beautiful people love the Steele dossier, which was a lurid thing about Trump paid Russian prostitutes to pee on the bed or something. That spiraled into a thing, and the Mueller report, and how long did he spend, how many months on it? And that was even on Saturday Night Live, where the woman was playing Mueller, whatever, who was the FBI director on 9/11, who so therefore he's a failure, right? Hey, who would dare say that? But this is a country, and the West has now become a place of credentials. You have credentials here. You have pull, and you are that's what makes the person now. I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway, unbeknownst to most of the American public, Steele is singing. He's been getting grilled, and a lot of it points to the deep state activities. He's behind the dossier. So A.G. Horowitz is looking into it. Of course, when these guys go on TV, they really don't say anything. And Durham has been looking into stuff. People looking for something exciting really aren't getting something too exciting. But apparently they have finally gotten down to questioning this guy. An intelligence guy. Intelligence stuff has now become a way of life in politics now. So if you're dying to rid the world of Trump, then you fantasize about the Steele dossier. And this whole thing about hating Russia, which I've said every time I'm on this thing. Every time you hate on the Ruskies, this isn't the Cold War anymore. That's a bunch of bullshit. Also, anybody who with any integrity has got to admit that they did the worst of the fighting in World War II. And I repeat this every time. Also, when every time somebody brings up something about this stuff, you got to say, hey, are you willing to go to fight Russia in the winter, right? You're a Russian operative if you want peace, if you don't want war. Give the other fella hell. So, anybody connected to Russia became a target. Any question of aid to the Ukraine, to the Donbass, is seen as heresy. that John McCain, a war hero, was very keen on supplying the Ukraine. But whatever that Ukraine thing was insane, because look at it this way. He makes the phone call to the president. Yeah, okay, he's checking on Biden, whatever, campaign rally. Oh my God. All right. But the Ukrainian guy, president, felt no pressure. It's going on. And they're like, no, it's, and, it became partisan, and it goes through the House, and then the Senate blocks it. And it's just like, they all look like warmongers. That's what I get back to. And nobody seems to care about that. So this is a warmonger country. Why in the title I said about men? Because the men in this country are different now. They are not anti-war. And the left isn't anymore. And I guess maybe the Democrats never were. LBJ, known for his great society, the master of the Senate, bombed the living hell out of Vietnam. But somehow he gets forgiven about it. Nixon, the great villain who looks sweaty on TV, Nixon, ended the war. Yet he's the villain. Where was I going with this? The men, let's just look at it this way too, as unintellectual as this scene. Look at the men. McCabe, Comey, the lack of masculinity compared to a guy like Putin. Yeah, he's a little short guy, whatever. Look at the swagger. Okay, the temper of Brennan. Maybe he's macho. He voted for a communist candidate. But communism is not a bad thing, because the entertainment complex, the media entertainment complex, is into it. And yet, did they want it anyway? Did this DNC want it? What happened to the Seth Rich guy? Serving papers. Very enthusiastic about Bernie's campaign. And he gets killed in D.C. or something. Oh, but it's a Robert. It's okay. Julian Assange, once a darling of the left, somehow got wrapped in to the whole thing, and he's in jail. Looks like forever. He's going to die in there. Roger Stone, is he a saint? Whatever. Is he? I don't know. But you get these guys, Karl Rove and the other Democrat guy that looks like a demon head, who married a Republican woman. Anyway, they have these expert guys who are headhunters. But what is it about America now that we don't have men anymore? There are these very macho guys who appear, on YouTube, whatever, and the MMA and everything. You got Jocko Willink, and he gives Admiral McRaven, make your bed. Admiral McRaven, make your bed. He's a Navy SEAL, badass, whatever, but he's completely political. He's under Hillary Clinton. He's a Navy SEAL. Make your bed. But is even he's got that macho demeanor, but he doesn't. And General Petraeus is a war genius, but he doesn't have any swagger. He is no General Patton, is he? He's no MacArthur. There's no masculinity in America anymore. The guys who are masculine are some of these guys that are hated, the deplorables. As Julian Assange said, he's not going to win, because the people who support Trump are white trash. The white trash guys, the troubled guys in the Rust Belt, are the only thing nearing any masculinity, in my opinion. Now, in real life, in real concrete terms, of these guys like the sensitive guys, the technocratic MMA guys, are they physically strong? No doubt. I mean, General Petraeus, sure, he's known for his 1,000 push-up things. Admiral McRaven, I suppose I wouldn't want to fight him underwater in the ocean, but yeah, I would. Anytime, dope. What about Malcolm Nance, the hero of the wine moms? He knows that Trump has committed compromat. And they lay out all these things every night, and they have nothing. Is Donald J. Trump, some kind of saint guy or something? What is that the point? The point is the American people are not jumping in to get a gift when they see it. If he says anything about pulling troops out of Afghanistan, even Iraq or whatever, after the trillions in the blood, they talk about every day about the first responders and how good they are, and every hospital worker, but that is nothing compared to what the military does and to themselves and to the body counts and other places and stuff. Let's face it, oh my God, I'll probably never work again for that line. Look at it with reality. The Madeleine Albright, the 500,000 starving kids. The news reporter asked her, was it worth it? She goes, was it worth it? And yeah, the college kids, the academic kids were good. They were strong on that. They fought back. But after the Iranian strike, they said, well, every kid who's signed up for selective service, every person, they went on. They were frightened that there'd be a draft. So yet everybody's like, well, we must get Fuzzy Bear, Cozy Bear, but they haven't proven anything. It's this constant threat that the Russians are out there, and that and that didn't work. And now there's this thing, and everything is an emotional thing. I mean, ALS, horrible disease. You pour water on your head. Charlie Hebdo, a horrible thing. People get wasted in France. Je suis Charlie or something. Or there's a Belgian hit. You go to your social media. All of a sudden, there's a attractive person, typically an attractive woman with their dog or whatever, maybe in a bikini, and they're like, I'm with Belgium now. I'm with Je suis Charlie. I'm with this. I'm with that. Boston strong. Boston strong. 9/11 prayer circle, thoughts and prayers, and even the lefties are like, no more thoughts and prayers. Do something. It's what's up, dude? LVC. Vegas strong. It's not technically strong. You guys got your ass kicked. It's not Boston strong. 2 kids overthrew the stuff. I'm not going to get into this trap of saying anything of these events. Believe it or not, people look into it and Alex Jones it, or they do it themselves. And anybody who does that, I would challenge you by saying, have you ever succeeded in anything? Did you get a picture of a guy from Blackwater at the Boston Marathon and catch the guy? Have you decoded the 9/11? You get what I'm saying here. It's useless. More than useless, right? Nobody gets it, except that there's got to be some free speech and some ability to let's say, for instance, right now they just accused the Donald of saying that you should cure the coronavirus by drinking cleaning fluid. I don't even know the story now. I admit the headlines come back and I said, well, they must be accusing this guy of. I mean, if you were a supporter of the Donald and you were stupid enough to ingest a bottle of bleach, then I can't. There should be a limit. It's like the guy, that dipshit Jones or whatever, and he has a show, and the music is exciting, and the different guys are. It's whatever. It's entertainment. If you think everything that guy's saying, or maybe he's even caught up in his own shit. I don't know, but the people, I guess these are private entities, Twitter, YouTube, so they have every right to kick the guy off. But shouldn't people be able to discern that? And if they don't get that, then what's the problem? Is it how much is the academia at fault for it? If you go to school and they teach you slogans and you're not into thinking, then you can't discern whether or not this stuff is a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, everybody is. Everybody is now an expert on it's a novo coronavirus. That's what makes it this way. You must social distance. I've now read on the dreaded Drudge report that, it lingers. It was only for the old, now the young are in trouble. I mean, what happened to the old enemies? Where's Al-Qaeda? Where is Al-Qaeda? And if David Icke comes on here and says that this five-sense reality, beyond anything of human comprehension, and I know this virus is non-existent or something. I mean, if some people get into it and they buy it, I mean, that's sad. But don't a lot of people imitate the movies or something? I don't know. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, that there was a lot on that, right? I heard guys saying that because such and such. See, there's been so many shooters. I forget his name. The guy with the beard, whose dad was a bank robber that shot up you guys over there. That he was so old that he was an old guy that he wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, he had the weapon. I assume it was the dreaded AR-15, which is a light weapon for people that developed, I believe, in the Philippines. He was in the elevated position. All he had to go to the hotel and go down. And they go, but I heard many of these guys on these things say, no, he was too old and it couldn't happen. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Well, what was interesting about that was a couple of there was a couple of huge country. Was it country music or something? That was a country music thing, and it happened. What city? Another big. Was it Florida? Or was it a country music thing? But I digress. Maybe that Jones is not on the YouTube now, and guys like him, it might be good. Too much craziness. I don't know, but it doesn't seem to be decreasing. the media is media driven. It is strange though, when you back up, it's like that right now doesn't seem to be a threat. To his credit, they did eliminate the ISIS leader guy, and they did save some money and step aside, and the white swans of Russia did bomb the Islamic State. And Iran was a threat, this and that, and it's strange. They're not, for the moment. They have got the coronavirus, too. Very strange. Oh, that guy, the guy? He was dead. So much footage came out that the sheriff even said, if you have anything on your phone, please bring it in. The Harvest Festival. Yeah, his dad was a bank robber, right? That was unusual. And Stephen Paddock, he was a gambler, right? And he had some kind of connection in that he was an IRS person, right? Right before the shooting, also they said you're all going to die. California had some festival, but it was minor. My connection's unstable. It just seems, it just seems there is a, yeah, everybody is sure of everything now. And if you say to somebody that it was a serious situation in Syria, Bush and then, and then Obama, they were just like, Assad must go. We were there. We would come close to tangling with Russia. And you talk to the average person, and particularly the people who look at YouTube, there's an obsession with the weaponry, and there's a assumption that the military can handle every situation, that the budget is huge. That's very hard to say, and I think people will just go on, and in particularly, I've never seen something like the American women obsessed with Russia and what seems to be some kind of violence against Russia. And Putin is sexist or something. Trump is sexist. Okay. But Tulsi Gabbard came along, and that was an interesting thing, right? Seeing as tonight's topic is American men are not masculine, Gabbard seemed to have some balls. And she's a soldier, and she's involved, and she came out against it, and you saw that they wanted to kill her for a while in the DNC. War. Everybody likes it because they think that it is anything that gets in the way of the goodness or something that can be dispatched with in a night, like when they started bombing Afghanistan or something. Yeah, I need the call-in show. I know, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I lost a viewer. I got a thumbs down yesterday. And also, if you notice, each of the left or the right believes that the media is against their cause. It was indeed unsettling, though, that Gabbard Tusi, she couldn't get anything. They went after her, and then she caved immediately and endorsed Biden. 100%. It is amazing to me, though. The maybe Jocko Willink will kick my ass. No, there's definitely a technocratic macho man in America who is technocratic macho man that's unfeeling and kind of, I mean, seems to have no gravitas. There's no swagger. And the Chinese boss, President Xi, right? Am I saying his name right? Is it XI? I mean, he's got some swagger. Certainly, Putin has challenged the unipolar world simply by he doesn't give a shit. He's got swagger. He's got swagger. I suppose probably the Latino and African American guys in America have still a swagger left. But when they all appear on television, they have to completely demasculate themselves. They're no match for the wine moms. Seer and Iran. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't look good when Soleimani, the general, got hit. And people were worried, understandably. But despite all my anti and limits of empire talk on this, there's certainly, for the time being, this system here is still running the show, printing the fiat money. Have you seen so many YouTubes on here saying it will be the end because China will break away from the dollar. The dollar is still king dollar. Nova oris seclorum. How much trouble am I gonna get on here for saying McCabe is not a masculine man, with his glasses and his crap and Comey and the sensitive interviews they give and stuff? Where are the G-men? This is disgusting. Comments below. Anybody who thinks, I mean, what I'm getting at? I'm getting at a feeling, an image. No gravitas, no swagger. Putin has it. Have you seen that rap video where these guys, I think it's a couple of African-American dudes who live in Russia, and they're like, I go hard like Vladimir Putin. And it's a riot. And it shows Putin, he made, with the expertise of the Western intelligence agencies, hey, maybe he'll be ousted at any time. But he has won, and that is what has enraged. Basically, the system sent Obama in after him, and he failed. So you've got these people that it's none of their problem. Why would Malcolm Nance, the CIA super SEAL guy, write all these books about this being fake? They're getting angry. They're like involving themselves in something, and I've heard people say that racism, there is no black people in Russia. So that's ridiculous. They've got nothing against, if anything, they want to make money mixing it up. That was a great fight when the African-American dude beat the Russian guy. And he said, my balls are too hot. It was an awesome fight. But yeah, he is. And that's and what he says, and he does, and people are like, is it all greater? They go, oh my God, there's influence in RT. And something, you can't say that much against Putin. There's, well, of course, what's our news services? If you don't pick a left or a right, you're not getting on. It's like on this goofy thing, I'm ranting like a madman tonight. I'm not completely, if you notice, and I think this way people should be, I'm not completely, buying anything. It's just at some point you got to come to the point and realize that if people don't start saying stuff, you're just going to be going to war, and your kids will be going forever. I mean, how long are they going to be deployed in Afghanistan? Yeah, you got Trump, yeah, Mr. Trump, get him out no matter what. And in Africa, the special operations guys are still all around there. We give Africa drones. China gives Africa jobs. And, that is amazing. He said just a few things, but, of course, as everybody is like, you haven't drained the swamp yet, It's too huge. The EU has its own massive swamp. They all pretty much think the same way. They think about war. I like that. Yeah, there's no doubt. That's my point. I mean, we don't have any masculine heroes in America. There's none. Doesn't exist. Look at the fantasy movies and stuff. We don't have a guy like that. They're typically, there's an Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's an Austrian or something. He's from here or whatever now. But you've got Jean-Claude Van Damme. We don't have even John Cena. The wrestling guy. He's mild-mannered. He plays sensitive people or whatever. The closest thing maybe we have is like Denzel. I guess Denzel would be a macho man. Yeah, everybody's on Trump because he didn't go to Nam and this and that. But everybody hates him. He just says what's on his mind. And, I wonder if he had taken a page from Putin or something. They were like, the worst thing is they're buddies. And everybody's like, we're controlled by the Kremlin. And he, but that is all very interesting, but there's no proof of that out there. And if you ramble on what I'm saying, like, no, he's scum. He is a dictator. I don't know how everybody says that. And in terms of what? They're constantly making fun of the North Korean guy. He's horrible. He's this and that. We must say that you've got to give them credit in that the North Koreans, they don't take any shit. I don't know about the Biden thing is incredible. They accuse Trump of unlucidity. They accuse Trump of this. They accuse Trump of that. You're seeing real time Biden cannot function. He's non-functioning. Hillary Clinton doesn't seem to be. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, the conspiracy strange crowd was like, it's not even her, and she's in bad health. I don't know, but she doesn't seem to be in prime shape. And she is the most strict advocate of the system that is possible, I think. She literally says nothing. It's incredible. The swag. I mean, what has happened? Yes, the pastrami. Have you seen the Frontline or any shows? They just 24 hours a day, every day. They were like Russian meddling. We'll show it. Get them. They rounded up during the Obama's time. They rounded up about a bunch of Russian intelligence people, and it was the most pathetic thing. They had that attractive woman. She literally got on. She was like, "I would like to meet somebody. Do you have any connections? I would like to marry a handsome guy." I mean, they were like low level. It was like they apparently have these agreements with these intelligence agents that it's understood that there's a certain amount of agents, and the embassies are obviously, you have your people in, and we conduct things a certain way, and we know there's a certain amount of shitheads going around that are agents, but they can't get, and they busted that redhead woman, and then now they were saying she went to gun shows or something, and then they meddled the election, and Zuckerberg gets on and like, well, this can't happen again. And what could they have done? What could they literally have done with those social media things, with their expertise or something? I think they said, according to the H.A. Goodman guy, who's fascinating, it was something like not even 200 grand or something. That some guy, and there was some involvement in something. And it's like, compared to the long list of countries that give to both parties, are you shitting me? It's the saddest thing I've ever heard. And the reason why I don't even care who hears me talking about this, because I have some degree of identification with the Polish people, because I'm a Slavic myself. And Hillary Clinton went right over there to set up the missile defense system. And to me, it's obviously that they're getting Poland in deep shit, because the Polish people, very tough people. They survived World War II, attack others. It's not humanly possible that they could defend themselves in that area against the Russians. Nobody could come there to help them. Not the Americans. The entire NATO. There's a certain area where the Russians can project out their military power. It's obvious, and it's a suicide thing to be putting an offensive system there. So the reason why I have lost a lot of friends bitching about this Russian collusion thing is because they put a target on their back over there. So what kind of person would I be not to say something about it? And I've said it to anybody I meet. You believe in the Russian collusion thing? What about this? Have you heard of this missile defense system and this bullshit? It's like, the perfect analogy is the Thomas Ademic is a tremendous. There's a lot of good Polish fighters that don't get any credit. He was a tremendous middleweight, and then for the money or whatever, they encouraged him to jump up from middleweight to heavyweight to fight one of the Klitschko brothers, the guys who have PhDs. They're huge. They're monsters. There's no way possible. It's like these people who think they're a keto master can fight Mike Tyson or something. no, this is even worse than that. He's just, and the guy fought bravely. You know, if you've not, even you can notice, you see a lot of these Polish fighters now. They have great records, and then they fight till they go beyond their capacity. Maybe too many fights, like Joanna Cruise Ship, whatever, the woman who fighting this MMA shit, and her head was blown up like a watermelon. You know, for the money, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's for the pride. It's just mismatches in setups and stuff to me. I don't know. Proving yourself. The ultimate thing to be Polish in America. You can't talk about it. You get into it with everybody. Yeah. Yeah, they're getting a lot of crap for that. And then they had the Independence Day, and you know, it was a good thing for them. It was the hunt, and they lit off some flares, and everybody was happy because they had won their independence. But in the Western media, it was 100% that they were all supremacists or something. You can't win. You can't win. That's why Malcolm Nance from the Navy SEAL guy, anytime, pal. I will debate you right here. You can talk about compromat and your obsession with the Steele dossier and how you know because you're an intelligence guy. You just can't sleep at night because Vladimir Putin outchessed Obama. He lost. He lost, and Assad is still standing. Is he some saint or whatever? Do I know the whole situation? I don't know. But the ridiculousness of funding people. First of all, people who ignore the fact that the Obama, he bombed the 7 nations, but they'll say, no, that's not true. How can you even argue about that stuff? Everything distracts, so now everything is equal, so it's going to be all your kids can go to war now. Yeah. Yep. Dr. Jones is fascinating. It'd be a long list of interesting guys. They mostly kick him and most guys like him who are interesting off these platforms, as far as I know. That's not really free speech. I think they have to look into, even though these platforms are private, maybe the constitutionality of it is in question. But yeah, he's definitely interesting. Let's have him on. Yeah, that's a big no-no. But he's doing good over there. But you cannot lose sight of the fact they lost too many people. World War II. They lost too many people. I actually met with this guy from a British television guy, and I was shocked. He said the same thing about England. Too many people. Yeah, that's the strangest thing. You get up for a Nobel Prize. What some people don't ever want to comprehend is he bombed Africa. There's no Libya in it now. North Africa. There were photographs of him with Gaddafi. He must have been like, my God. After all that racist stuff they pulled in America, one of our guys is in. I actually heard in a TV interview that this guy, this colonel, he was like, yes, ma'am, we have to fund the bad guys to get a bad guy. So Benghazi. They were saying Mrs. Clinton screwed up in Benghazi. Indeed, However, what was going on there? You know, a lot of people say he's wrong. Cy Hirsch, Seymour Hirsch, a liar. It's crazy. Long time, pretty much left-wing icon. The last of the great journalists or experienced journalists. So I agree with everything he says. Who does? But Cy Hirsch, Seymour Hirsch, he did talk about the supply line from Libya to Syria and how could it have been involved? God forbid, the ambassador should not have got killed, but what would they do? What were those special operators doing there? Hirsch said there was a rat line to Syria. Extremist, hardcore, jihadi, Al-Qaeda type muscle going from Libya to Syria. And the only one in the company, the corporation, to say anything about it, General Michael Flynn. If you notice, there is an excellent documentary, Dirty Wars, Jeremy Shahel. I love the African guys. Like the Americans, they are war masters. They know how to fight. It talks about the special ops and the death squads. Okay, so in Latin America, they use that term a lot. Death squads. The JSOC is the death squads, and that was the brilliance of Petraeus. They have a problem with the insurgents. So they take the best men from any unit in the military, and they have this joint special operations command, this JSOC. Any commander in the unit, they're going, where you going, soldier? I can't tell you. I'm doing an assignment to the JSOC. That's the way he portrays it. Now, that documentary is maybe not fair because the things are complicated. But Flynn became the commander of that as he was head of the Defense Intelligence, not the CIA. And he blew the whistle on it, and it went crazy. That's why the second person that, or the person that Obama hates even more than Putin, it's Flynn. So somebody in the whole thing finally had some guts, and he said something about it, and everybody's after the guy. Flynn lied. Flynn lied. Yeah, he is. I don't like his book on JFK. I like the Kennedys. I do. They may be lefties and Democrats, whatever, but they try. I give that to them. You can't argue with that. They take bullets in the head. John should have been president. It's a shame his plane went down. I used to go after the Kennedys and complain about them all the time, but I've come to realize that they try. For instance, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. now has had the guts to say that the CDC is a private entity, which I didn't know that till recently. Really weird. So they're like the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is like FedEx. You know, the guys say that stuff. It's private. The average person that said, the CDC, yeah, they must be bona fide. They're like the police department, the FBI. There must be oversight. Shockingly, it's a private entity. That's a non-for-profit. Incidentally, why is everything in America now a non-profit? Is there any company that makes a profit anymore? The high standard is non-profit. Yeah, good. Yeah, sorry, man. I wish I knew more about this shit. I don't know. Maybe we can Skype or whatever. Well, I mean, I'm talking to myself and you're on, and we're talking about it. This what we're doing right now is what at least one night a week. People should have been having these kind of discussions now. So even if you think everything I said tonight is a load of shit or whatever, and that's it. I only have. What are you even talking about? I only look at acceptable sources, sir. Just the Times and the Washington Post. The Washington Post literally is, and has always been, the Central Intelligence Agency. The creation of Catherine Graham, who was Washington's most powerful person, probably. Or the New York Times or the Standard News is impeccable. And if yeah, fine. So just read that, and they say these people say you cannot leave Afghanistan. Experts say, if we go out of there, it is, and it's again and again and again. In the 80s or 90s or something, it was, if we don't stop Nicaragua, there will be a domino effect. In Vietnam, it was, if we don't draw the line there and help the good people of South Vietnam, who knows? But that was, now in hindsight, McNamara had that fog. I made a mistake. I think that every country has propaganda, but this has to be the only one where people now are on the thing where they now police each other. It's incredible. They actually, it's hip to now just say what's in the news, and you're crazy. Okay, we'll go. Oh, we can't leave? No. Iraq? No. I'll bomb the crap out of it, but occupy it? Topple Saddam, and 50 sectarian groups will fight to the death forever. Therein the brilliance of Petraeus and the JSOC. Brenner, who was the Praetorian elite, the viceroy, disbanded the whole thing and created, havoc with insurgency. And also he said the Polish troops didn't do a good job, so he can blow me. Yes, that's true. That's true. Don't know how much. Yeah, the popularity of the sports. That kind of carries over. A lot of the guys who are fans of sports, I noticed, they're like, yep, got to get Saddam. So talk about sports for like 3 hours, about 15 minutes. So that's good. Get rid of Saddam. Incredible. Oh, crap. We've been on 54 minutes. This is insane. I think Thursday or Friday was Fire Flag for Flynn Day. So I guess I'm contradicting. I can't believe these things, though, these group things. And, of course, the healthcare workers are on the front line. God bless them. But with the thing of the internet. They do have these countless videos now showing health workers doing a lot of strange dancing and stuff, though. A lot of dancing. A lot of dancing. I don't know. Maybe they're just blowing stress off, but it looks strange. And they are the greatest of the great. The firemen, the police, and stuff like that. But we have to beware. You can't have the thing become deified either. Like the communist worker. Anyway, my brother, I'm really drifting. You had the minute. Well, I hope anybody here listening has not called me a warmonger for being against war. That should be, as citizen peons, the number one thing, but it's not. How many of these things have been? It was at Vegas strong too? Yeah. Vegas strong, Boston strong. Never forget. Although the 9/11 was not a big deal this year, right? Was it? I don't know. Oh yeah, I think I read that one. Operation Phoenix. You know, Riggs from Lethal Weapon was part of Operation Phoenix. Riggs! Riggs! All right, anybody with any comments online? Now, if you're from the intelligence agency, if you're a relative of McCabe or any of these guys, Brennan, Clapper, have you got something really on him? Or, I don't think you did. Steele is singing now. Christopher Steele. Oh, let me follow up in conclusion. Oh, Christopher Steele testifies Hillary Clinton, Susan Rice knew about the anti-Trump research. Steele, the dossier. I mean, they're all over him. But the almost debunking of Christopher Steele. I like how they try to handle these headlines. There was even a Washington Post thing. Op-ed where the guy admitted the Steele dossier just sustained another body blow. What do CNN, NBC, MSNBC have to say? The truth is Rachel Maddow is Christopher Steele. Christopher Steele had an undisclosed meeting with the DNC. What about the Schriepels? Remember they? They're not dead. They were to have been poisoned by Russian intelligence in Britain, and Theresa May herself was all over it. That story's gone. Has The Guardian and The Times of London, The Economist magazine, have they abandoned the Schriepels? You must be a Russian operative. No way. Polish American, don't want my people getting in a fight with the Russians. Oh, yeah. I'll check that out. FBI knew Russian intel was targeting Christopher Steele. Author of bogus anti-Trump Russia dossier now claims. Him being an expert of psychology came up with the P thing. The Fusion GPS. By the way, all these people that support the Steele dossier, they have boatloads of books that are lucrative. So Fusion GPS, they write a book. Each and every one of these guys, Comey, Clapper, Brennan, McCabe's wife, huge donations involved. They have excellent books. The Roger Stone guy, I don't know. I guess the story was he was so into it that he got himself snafu'd. He got himself caught. He's an interesting cat. Should he be going to jail for his? I mean, an old guy like that. I don't know. You're talking about this was the American most powerful country in the world. We basically are now going the way of 1988 Poland and Nicaragua. Will, dude. All right. So I don't know if anybody watches these things all the way through. Let me know what you think. I don't care. I mean, do you got something? Have you read all the books by Malcolm Nance, who seems to want to get the African American people of America in a war with the Slavic people of Russia, who we forget they did the fighting. World War II. Just look up the Kursk battle, Stalingrad. They lost a lot of people. Too many people. To say that they're a threat to that degree when they have the largest country in the world under the control, nobody can comprehend the vastness of Russia. They only have like 190 million people. That they're controlling over here, and they're going to bowl over Europe, and we still need to fund NATO for the billions and trillions. One of the worst things I ever heard was they said the missile defense system in Poland is there to protect against an attack from Iran. That's when it's time to question the news, and just with a little common sense. And don't bow down because Clapper says, we work at the NSA and we control and we're experts. We know everything. You know nothing. You need a defense system in Poland because of the dangerous Iran, which I'm not a major expert in geography, but that doesn't make sense. LVC, thanks for hanging there with me. Anybody who listened, all takers, Admiral McRaven, make your bed, pal. No more war. Bring the boys home. Don't get into the whatever you don't like about Trump. Whenever he says bring the boys home, take him up on it. Anybody in the military, remember this. Bunch of war profiteers, warmongering motherfuckers. That's what I say. LVC, I'll be in touch. Hope anybody liked this thing tonight. In the interest of free speech, peace and God bless. Talk to you later, LVC.